Hey there. We are on day 47 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year. And today we're finishing Matthew 27. You remember yesterday, Jesus gave up his spirit and died on the cross. Okay. This is immediately after he died on the cross. Okay. And let's get into this. And there's lots of good stuff in here. And behold, the veil of the temple, or curtain, was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook and the rocks were split. Okay, that first verse. And the veil was in the temple. It guarded the Holy of Holies where God's presence was. Okay. Nobody was allowed in there except for the high priest. And they tied a rope around his waist to pull him out if something happened, because nobody could go in there. Okay. The Ark of the Covenant was in there. And God's presence was in there, and nobody was allowed in there. Okay. The curtain was like 30 feet tall and 30 or 40 feet wide, however wide the doorway was. It was made out of felt or animal skin and fur and was a foot thick, okay? Imagine trying to tear a cloth that's a foot thick. It can't be done, okay? Only by divine power can that be done. And by tearing it in half, it opened up the Holy of Holies so that we could go into God's presence through Jesus, okay? A very important significance in that. And the tombs were opened, and many bodies of the saints, right, of the holy ones who had fallen asleep were raised, and coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they entered the holy city and appeared to many. Okay, I don't think this line appears anywhere else in any of the other Gospels, okay? Now the centurion and those who were with him, keeping guard over Jesus, when they saw the earthquake and the things that were happening, became very frightened and said, truly this was the Son of God. You imagine, it seems like the world is falling apart, right? Goes dark, the sun goes out, the earth starts to shake, the rocks crack, buildings fall. Yeah, be afraid, right? Many women were looking from a distance who had followed Jesus from Galilee while ministering to him, caring for him. Among them was Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and Mary the mother of the sons of Zebedee. Those were apostles. Okay, it's important to realize that, you remember, Judas is gone now. They needed another apostle, and later on we'll find out that they had 125 disciples to choose from to make another apostle. All right, and the rules were you had to be with Jesus the whole time since he was baptized by John the Baptist. Okay, that means they were there throughout his whole ministry. And there was 125 to choose from. That means 125 disciples, were there with their wives and families, okay? Jesus always had a couple hundred people gathered around him. He would take his 12 separately away and talk to them privately, right? Or take them on boats, and people would follow afterwards. But there were always a lot of people. So it's not surprising that many women who were looking out from a distance, and they included Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. So, right? Jesus is buried. When it was evening, there came a rich man from Arimathea, named Joseph, who himself had also become a disciple of Jesus. This man went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered it be given to him, and Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and laid it in his own new tomb, which he then hewn out of the rock. And he rolled a large stone against the entrance of the tomb and went away. And Mary Magdalene was there, and the other Mary sitting opposite the grave. Right. Now on the next day, the day after the preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered together with Pilate and said, Sir, we remember that when he was still alive, that deceiver said, the poor say yes, they'll come back to get them, won't they? After 3 days I will rise again. I am to rise again. Therefore give orders for the grave to be secure until the third day. Otherwise his disciples may come and steal him away and say to the people, he has risen from the dead. And the last deception will be worse than the first. Pilate said to them, You have a guard. Go, make it as secure as you know how. And they went and made the grave secure, And along with the guard, they set a seal on the stone, right? They sealed the stone, a large stone. Now, a single angel killed 185,000 men in a single night. 185,000. One angel in a battle. That means they're very strong and very large. You think that stone is gonna keep them? Like seal on the stone is gonna keep them from rolling it away? Yeah, I don't think so. So that's Matthew 27. Tomorrow we'll read Matthew 28. It's very short. Okay, Matthew 28 is it's a very short, only 20 verses. And it wraps it all up. The other Gospels will go into great detail on this, but this is, Matthew tells it very short, very precise and concise. Okay, so, well, we'll find out tomorrow. Jesus is risen. Tomorrow will be the best news in the whole Bible, right? The whole reason for our being, Jesus is risen. So stay tuned for that. Catch up on anything you may have missed, or read it and catch up with us when you can. And give us a like if you think about it. But until tomorrow, we'll keep going. See ya.